Gaffer, Port Vale to come tomorrow, but first of all, if we look back to Saturday, having had a couple of days to look back at the Carlisle performance, how would you summarise it?
I think all in all a good performance. Made a lot of chances. Could have scored 3 or 4 more. I don't think we ever had to get to the levels that we needed to in previous weeks, i.e. the Portsmouth game or the Bolton game, Charlton game. Obviously, we were playing against a team who were fighting for their lives, and they tried to stay in the game as long as possible. But in terms of soul-making saves, I think the penalty in the last second of the game made it a little bit closer than what it should have been.
It's fair to say you were quite emotional after the game, and how are you feeling about things generally, again, having had a bit more time?
I feel fine for several reasons. One, obviously, is the transfer window, especially the last day or so, is very tough for everybody. And I didn't really speak to it and let a little bit of frustration off my shoulders, because sometimes men don't like to talk and they just bottle it up. But then I had a really good conversation. I was still frustrated driving home, and then Nigel rings me on the way home, and we have a good hour talking in the car. And as soon as I put the phone down, my head has gone from being really blurry to being really clear. The weight is off my shoulders because I feel like I've had a really good conversation with him. You Southerners, you just make a mountain out of a molehill. Because I am straight talking. That's the way that the area that I come from, and Mancunians can be like that. But they're trying to make things that are just not there. When I say that it's we, as a recruitment team, it's we, more than anybody, that's me. So I feel as though I let the players down, because we had a certain target in mind for 3 or 4 weeks, and that was the only target. Agents are ringing me saying, do you need any of this? I'm going, no, because we've got this target. And I probably rested on my laurels, got a little bit lethargic on that one, and was frustrated when I lost him. Matt Howell feels the same. Matt Howell was very, very good friends with the agent of the player. So we thought we rested on our laurels, and we shouldn't have put ourselves in a position that we ended up in. We've had some really good signings at this football club, some good processes, i.e. Ollie O'Neill. We watch Lingy identifies Ollie O'Neill when we watch him against us when he plays for Fulham. Lingy writes him down in his book and says, have a look at him because he played really well. I then watch the game back, watch him in a couple of other games. He looks really good. We then asked Fulham to come in. He trains with us for 3 weeks, plays 2 games, and then you look at we've actually minimised every signing is a risk, but we've minimised the risk as little as possible. And he's come in and he's had a real good impact in his first few weeks. So listen, sometimes I say things and I regret it, and it can come across, people can nitpick about and read into little lines, but there's nothing in it. My relationship with the chairman I think he's the best chairman in the Football League. I don't know them all, but if they're better than him, then they're very, very good. My relationship with Lingy is first class. My relationship with everyone at the club is brilliant, but we have a budget that I'm very, very happy with. And in terms of I'm going on a bit long here, aren't I? Sorry, but the budget in terms of, if you look at clubs with similar sized crowds to us, i.e. Lincoln's, Shrewsbury's, that mid-block of 8 that we speak about, obviously the big boys, when Bolton are going and paying 750 grand for a player, that's really tough to compete with, but they are getting 20,000. That middle block of 8, our budget will be competitive. I know we're in London and we have to pay a little bit more, but our budget is very good. Now we have to maximise that budget to get where we want to get to, and we also have to realise that when a promoted team has gone up, our budget goes from a certain amount to a big amount with the same group of players, because the players all have 25%, maybe sometimes in some cases 50% increases with the same players. So as the transfer windows go and we get to the summer, the budget will be lessened. But yeah, I'm happy. I love it here. I absolutely love it here. So yeah, some people are making a mountain out of a molehill, and there's just nothing in it. It was just me maybe venting a little bit of frustration, but I was told off by Nigel, and if we're going to vent a little bit of frustration, Nigel's really good at, he's wrote his own book, Pushback, so he welcomes that. But let's do it in the privacy of our own 4 walls.
Looking forwards now, the window is done and dusted. Given how good our form is at the moment, how nice is it to not have to talk about transfers and stuff like that, and just talk about solely what happens out on the grass?
Yeah, it can be really unsettling, especially for the players. Some of our players thought they might have been moved on, but that was never the case. Obviously, they're always looking over the shoulders to see if new players are coming in, which in the main can be good for competition, but also in some cases it can be unsettling. So we've got this group of lads now to take us in the season. We're looking forward to see where it takes us.
And Port Vale to come, I think from memory they had a really strong start to the season, but are going through a bit of a tough patch now. What can we expect from them?
Yeah, well, my experience at Port Vale is always a huge pitch, so you need to be athletic, you need to cover areas, you need to shift across the pitch quickly. Got a lot of experienced players for the league, so let's go there. We're full of confidence. I think they're in a little bit of a rut, so they'll be trying to respond from a bad defeat on Saturday, and let's try and go there and twist a knife, if you like.
How are we looking team news-wise ahead of it?
There's only probably Omar from Saturday that's got a problem with his abdominals area. I've never had that problem, but I think Omar's the only one. Other than that, it's just the lad. Do we freshen up? Do we go with the same team? Something that we'll speak to Keats and Jack and make sure that everybody that we do pick is fresh and ready to go. And
just lastly, it's a bit of a journey up there. It's a busy month, so a lot of money to fork out in terms of different tickets for away games. Just a message to the fans who are making the journey up there.
Well, the message is obviously continue to support like you are. The away games recently have been fantastic. If you can't make it, obviously the iFollow and the stream is available. And just let's keep it going. I know that we're in an unbelievable run at the moment, but we can't get complacent. We just need to keep going, keep our standards, keep our energy levels as they are. And I do feel that maybe not this Tuesday, but when we play Saturday against Barnes and then a Tuesday against Northampton, that little percent when you are feeling a little bit tired, our supporters are going to come into it and we can feed off the energy that they give us. So they're going to be really important in the next coming months.